chosen one, for the sake of God, stop preparing in private for a life that can only begin when something becomes visible. Before you misunderstand me, this is not a command to embarrass yourself. It is not a call to reveal what should remain sacred. God does not need spectacle from you. But there is one thing you already know you must stop hiding. It may be the work that has remained in your drafts for months. It may be the application you keep reopening, but never submit. It may be the conversation you rehearse alone and avoid in real life. You have called the delay wisdom. You have called it patience. You have said you were waiting for peace. Yet every time the moment arrives, the same thing happens. Your chest tightens. Your thoughts scatter. The sentence that sounded clear in private becomes hard to hold, and you begin editing, researching, or asking for one more sign. Then the window closes. Relief arrives. That relief has been teaching you the wrong lesson. It has been teaching your body that invisibility is safety. This is why you can feel powerful while praying alone, then powerless when another person is watching. It is why you can see an entire future, yet struggle to complete the small action that would begin it. I call this the visibility freeze. Today, we are going to break its authority without shaming you. We will test the action with integrity and clarity, because real obedience does not require recklessness. Before this message ends, you will receive 3 things. First, you will identify the public act your life is asking from you now. Second, you will understand why your mind becomes foggy near exposure. Third, you will learn how to create a clearer receiving condition, so intuition, logic, and action stop fighting one another. Public does not always mean standing before a crowd. Sometimes public means pressing send. Sometimes it means placing your name beneath your work. Sometimes it means telling one person the truth. Sometimes it means applying for the role you keep watching from a distance. The scale can be small. The evidence must be real. This message is not asking you to expose trauma. It is not asking you to share private information. It is not asking you to place yourself in danger. The right action will be honest, responsible, and small enough to complete safely. There is also a discovery I will return to later. It comes from neuroscience. It traces back to Nobel Prize research, and it may explain why a part of you felt more available in childhood than it does today. I am not bringing it forward yet, because a solution only makes sense after the full problem is seen. For now, hold this question. What if God is not asking you to prove yourself in public? What if He is asking you to stop hiding the evidence that you are willing to live what you believe? Place one hand over your chest. Notice what name, project, conversation, or decision rose in your mind. Do not dismiss it. That is where we begin. If you know there is something you have kept hidden, write, I will make it visible. The first mystery is why your entire system resists the moment someone else could see it. Chosen one, the hiding pattern rarely looks dramatic. It often looks reasonable. You open the document, then decide one more hour of research would make it stronger. You record the message, then delete it because your voice sounds unfamiliar. You prepare the application, then tell yourself the timing is not right. You are not only avoiding effort, you are avoiding exposure. The task becomes heavy at the exact point where another person could see, judge, accept, or reject what came from you. That moment activates a rule you may never have spoken aloud. If nobody sees the real thing, nobody can wound the real me. This is why you keep polishing what is already useful. It is why you ask for another sign after receiving one. It is why you help other people launch while keeping your own work hidden. It is why relief appears when an opportunity passes, even though regret comes later. You have probably called this a discipline problem. You may have called it laziness. You may have wondered whether you lacked faith. But those explanations do not fit the full pattern, because you can work extremely hard when the work does not expose your identity. The deeper issue is not effort, it is safety. Your system has learned that being unseen reduces risk, so it creates delay, confusion, perfectionism, and exhaustion near the edge of visibility. That does not mean you are broken. It means an old protection strategy is still operating in a season where it no longer serves you. The details differ. The lesson is often the same. Visibility brings danger. Success changes relationships. Speaking clearly creates conflict. Being gifted makes other people uncomfortable. A child can absorb that lesson without ever choosing it, then carry it into adult decisions as if it were truth. This is where recognition becomes freedom. You are not failing because nothing was placed inside you. You are repeating a strategy that once helped you remain connected. The strategy protected an older version of you, but it cannot lead the life you are trying to enter now. Being told you are chosen can feel powerful, but identity without visible change can become another form of comfort. You can collect messages, signs, and sacred language while your actual life remains untouched. The title means little if no decision becomes different. Do not answer with shame, answer with honesty. The purpose of recognition is not to condemn you. It is to make the invisible rule visible, because a rule you can see is a rule you can begin to question. Here is the core truth. You have not delayed because you possess no faith. You have delayed because some part of you learned that invisibility was the safest place to survive. Once that pattern is named, the next question becomes possible. When did your body first learn that being seen would cost you something? Do not force a memory. Simply notice what feeling appears. The answer may be a moment, a person, or a repeated atmosphere. Whatever rises, hold it gently. The next part will show you why your mind becomes foggy at the exact moment your action approaches the eyes of another person. That fog may not be guidance to stop. It may be the final defense of an old agreement. Chosen one. Have you noticed what happens near the final moment? The message is written. The application is ready. The offer is clear. Then, your body changes. Your chest tightens. Your mouth goes dry. Your thoughts scatter, and a task that felt simple becomes strangely difficult. You may reach for your phone. You may decide to clean the room. You may open another page for research. You may suddenly feel tired. None of this looks dramatic, but the timing matters. The resistance arrives when the private idea is about to become visible. You have probably called yourself lazy. You may have said you lack discipline. You may have wondered whether the confusion was a warning from God. But what if the fog is not proof that the path is wrong? What if it is a protection response activated by the possibility of being seen? I call this the visibility freeze. It is the moment your system treats exposure like danger, even when the action itself is responsible and safe. Your mind begins producing reasons to delay, because delay removes the immediate risk of judgment. That memory does not always return as a picture. It may return as heaviness. It may feel like doubt. It may sound like perfectionism. It may appear as the sudden belief that you need more preparation, even though the work was ready yesterday. The common explanation says you are incapable. The deeper explanation says you are protecting yourself with a strategy that once made sense. You were not weak, you were adapting. But an old adaptation can become a new prison when it keeps controlling choices long after the original danger is gone. You do not need to hate that pattern. You need to update it. You need to show your body that visibility can occur without abandonment, humiliation, or collapse. That lesson is not learned through one massive performance. It is learned through small pieces of safe evidence. Begin with what I call 10% exposure. Choose an action that is only slightly beyond your current comfort. It must be visible enough to count, but small enough to complete responsibly. Send one email. Share one piece of work. Ask one honest question. Submit one application. Give the action a deadline within the next 24 hours. Make the outcome measurable. Sent or not sent. Posted or not posted. Spoken or not spoken. Do not measure success by the response, because the reaction of another person is outside your control. And there is something else you need to hold. Over the past years, researchers have explored how coordinated activity across the brain supports attention, creativity, and decision-making. A discovery connected to Nobel Prize research created a different way to think about the divided state many adults describe. A team later developed a short auditory approach intended to support a more coordinated receiving condition. I will return to what they created later, after you understand the full shape of the problem. For now, hold this question. What if the mind you accuse of failing you is not broken, but operating in a divided condition it was never designed to remain in? Do not use that question to escape the action. Use it to release shame. A tool may support clarity later, but the first proof belongs to you now. Name your 10% exposure. Choose the person who will see it. Choose the hour when it will be done. If you are ready to break the old agreement, write, visibility is no longer danger. Fear is not the only reason you stayed hidden. Some of you gave hiding a sacred name, and that is where we go next. Chosen one, some hiding patterns do not look like fear. They look holy. They sound careful. They use words like humility, patience, and surrender. But sometimes those words protect a deeper belief, the belief that your gift is only safe while nobody can evaluate it. You may refuse to speak about your work. You may avoid naming what you do well. You may keep helping other people step forward while your own assignment remains hidden. You may even feel guilty when success approaches, because a part of you believes visibility will make you selfish. That is not always humility. Sometimes it is self-erasure, wearing sacred clothing. Real humility does not deny the gift. Real humility remembers where the gift came from, then allows it to serve without demanding worship in return. I call this the private power trap. It gives you the emotional reward of feeling deep without the risk of being tested. In private, your ideas remain perfect. In private, nobody can misunderstand them. In private, your calling can stay beautiful because reality has not been allowed to touch it. But a gift that never leaves the private room cannot serve anyone beyond you. A message that is never spoken cannot comfort the person who needs it. A solution that is never offered cannot reach the person already praying for help. You were not created to become a spectacle. You were created to become available. There is a difference. A spectacle demands attention for the self. Availability allows something useful to move through the self, even when the self feels nervous. Ask yourself one question. Does this action ask people to worship me, or does it allow something useful to reach them? That question separates service from performance. It also removes the excuse that every visible act is pride. Picture a lamp hidden beneath a heavy covering. The lamp may remain pure, but the room stays dark. The answer is not to convince the lamp that it is the sun. The answer is to remove what blocks the light, then let the light do what it was made to do. This is the shift. You do not need to become louder than everyone. You need to stop becoming smaller than the assignment. You do not need to prove that you are special. You need to become willing to be useful, where somebody can actually receive the benefit. Now imagine tomorrow morning. You open the project you have kept hidden. You do not add another layer. You do not search for another opinion. You complete the final responsible step. Then you press send. Your hands may shake. Your heart may beat faster. Nothing dramatic may happen outside you, but something permanent begins inside you, because you have created evidence that fear no longer controls every border of your life. That is the future this message is building toward. Not applause, not instant fame, not a crowd chanting your name. The deeper reward is congruence. The quiet power of knowing your visible behavior finally matches what you have claimed to believe. If your visibility is meant to help someone, write serve. Let that word become a filter. Let it remove the need for attention, and let it remove the excuse of false humility. Once humility is no longer available as a hiding place, the mind reaches for another defense. It asks for one more sign. It waits for one more confirmation. It tries to make certainty do the work that courage must eventually do. Chosen one. Confirmation can feel like movement. It can create relief. It can make you feel close to a decision. But if every sign leads only to another search for a sign, confirmation has become a hiding place. You watch another message. You notice another number. You ask another person what they think. For a few minutes, certainty rises. Then the action comes close and doubt returns. So you search again. That cycle can continue for months because each new sign gives comfort without requiring visible responsibility. You feel spiritually active, but nothing in the physical world has changed. I call this confirmation addiction. It does not mean every sign is false. It means the search for signs can become a substitute for the decision they were meant to support. The common explanation says you need more guidance. The hidden mechanism says you may be seeking immunity from regret. If you collect enough confirmation, you hope no painful outcome can ever make you question yourself. But no mature decision comes with total protection. Faith does not remove every uncertainty. It changes the way you walk, while uncertainty remains. This is why you need a clear filter. First, ask if the action is honest and does not harm another person. Second, ask if you are willing to take responsibility for your part. Third, ask if the action can begin at a small and reversible scale. If the answer is yes to all three, you do not need perfect certainty to take the next honest step. You are not always asking for guidance. Sometimes you are asking for a guarantee. That truth may sting, but it also gives your power back. A guarantee was never available. A responsible next step is available now. This is where the earlier question returns. I told you there was a discovery connected to research laboratories that I would bring forward later. I waited, because a solution only becomes meaningful after you understand the problem it is meant to address. You now see that fear is one part, false humility is another, confirmation seeking is another. But one mystery remains. Why does knowing all of this still fail to create movement? Why can insight feel undeniable at night, then disappear when morning asks for something practical? The missing piece is not another message. It is the condition of the receiver that must hold the message long enough to organize it, speak it, and move with it. You have linked visibility with danger. You have used humility to protect invisibility. You have used confirmation to avoid responsibility. And when your attention becomes divided, the action becomes harder to hold. The way forward is not a giant performance. It is one responsible public act, completed while you support the clarity needed to remain present through discomfort. You are not someone begging to be noticed. You are someone learning to let service become visible. You are not waiting for fear to vanish. You are choosing to move with integrity while fear loses its authority. That is who you learn to be. It is not who you are required to remain. The calling is clear. The question is whether the receiver can stay clear long enough to move. Chosen one. There is a study that received the Nobel Prize in 1981. It came from research led by Dr. Sperry into the different functions of the two hemispheres of the human brain. His work helped reveal that the hemispheres process information in different ways. One is often linked with language, sequence, and analysis. The other is often linked with pattern, imagination, and wider context. According to the product presentation, many children display strong creative flexibility, while far fewer adults maintain the same level of integrated thinking. A woman from California described her experience before finding this approach. She had prayed, journaled, and tried meditation. She believed the words she was hearing, but she struggled to feel that clarity in daily life. A man from Texas reported a different struggle. His mind felt crowded, and simple decisions required more energy than they should. A team led by Dr. Daniel Barone, a neurologist in New York City, developed an 8-minute targeted auditory sequence. It is designed around what the product calls neural sync technology, with the goal of supporting hemisphere synchronization and whole brain activation. They call it the Genius Switch. It is a digital audio track. You use headphones, you close your eyes, you relax, and you listen for 8 minutes each day. It does not require a long meditation practice. It does not require a mantra. Access is delivered digitally, and the product materials state that access is lifetime. The Genius Switch is not presented as a standard brainwave track. It is not described as a binaural product. It is positioned as a targeted auditory sequence intended to support neural coordination at the whole brain level. The Genius Switch is not for everyone. It is for the chosen one who has done sincere inner work, but no longer wants to treat mental fog as a moral failure. The product is presented with a value comparison reaching as high as $500. The listed price is $49. The page described in the product materials presents an additional reduction, bringing the price to $39. That price may change, so the official page should be checked for current details. 1 is a guided visualization. 1 is a smart grocery shopping guide. 1 is a classic manifestation book. 1 is a printable infographic covering 5 habits for an ideal future. The urgency is not that God will withdraw your calling if you do not buy something. That would be false. The urgency is that another week of divided attention can become another week when the honest action remains unfinished. The product file states that the verified version is available only through the official website. It is not presented as available through Amazon, Spotify, or public audio channels. Tracks with similar names may not use the same mechanism. It means the only version supported by these product claims is connected to the official page. If this resource resonates with you, the link in the description and the pinned comment leads to the page from Dr. Barone and his team. Read the claims, read the guarantee, review every detail before deciding. The Genius Switch may support the receiving condition. It does not replace discernment. It does not replace medical care. It does not turn a reckless action into a wise one. The deeper message remains unchanged. You stayed hidden because invisibility became a form of safety, and clarity became difficult to hold at the edge of exposure. A tool can support the mind. The next honest action still belongs to you. Chosen one. A tool can support clarity. It cannot choose obedience for you. It cannot make a careless decision wise. It cannot replace prayer, rest, medical care, or the responsibility to examine what you are about to do. That matters because this message was never meant to make you dependent on a product. The deeper purpose is to return authority to your own honest action. Whether you use the resource described earlier or not, you can still complete the next step. The mind may need support. The heart still needs integrity. Clarity without responsibility can become impulse. Responsibility without action can become another delay. You need both, and you need them working together. Use a simple process I call clear. The first step is choose. Choose one visible act, not 5, not an entire life plan. One action that creates evidence beyond your private thoughts. The second step is lower. Lower the level of exposure until the action feels responsible, but do not lower it so far that nobody can receive it. You do not need a stage. You need one real point of contact. The third step is establish. Establish a deadline within the next 24 hours. A vague intention protects avoidance. A specific hour removes the hiding place. The fourth step is act. Act before emotional certainty arrives. You have already tested the action for honesty, responsibility, and safety. Do not reopen the entire decision because your body becomes nervous. The fifth step is record. Record the evidence after completion. Write what you sent, when you sent it, and how your body felt before and after. Do not judge the act by applause. Judge it by whether you completed what you chose. An artist may post one finished piece. A writer may send one proposal. An employee may submit one application. A coach may invite 3 suitable people. A partner may speak one clear need without accusation. The size is not the point. The pattern is the point. Each completed act teaches your system that visibility can happen without collapse. Each honest step weakens the old agreement that being unseen is the only safe position. Take a slow breath. Imagine your hand resting on a closed door. You do not need to see the entire road behind it. Open the door only enough for one action to pass through. Feel both feet on the floor. Let your shoulders drop. Say this quietly: I do not need the whole path to take the honest step. Now choose the output. Name the action. Name the person who will see it. Name the hour when it will be complete. Write the first sentence before you leave this message. The final resistance may still appear. It will tell you that your mind is too scattered, your ideas are too slow, or your ability has disappeared. That resistance sounds convincing because it attacks your intelligence. But the receiver can be supported, the action can be simplified, and the part of you that learned to disappear can learn a new way to remain present while being seen. Chosen one. The final resistance often sounds like a verdict on your intelligence. You know what matters, but you cannot organize the next step. You open the task and feel your attention split in 5 directions. At night, the answer may feel clear. By morning, the clarity has thinned. You start several tasks and finish none. Then shame supplies an explanation. It says you are lazy, damaged, cursed, or no longer capable. Do not accept that explanation too quickly. Persistent or severe cognitive symptoms deserve proper medical evaluation, and no audio resource replaces professional care. But ordinary mental fragmentation is not proof that your calling was false. I call this the receiver gap. An insight must be received, organized, expressed, and converted into behavior. When attention is divided, those stages stop moving together, and a clear inner impression can become a confused outer response. This is the hidden distinction. Inspiration and implementation are different capacities. Struggling to execute does not automatically mean the original insight was wrong. It may mean the process carrying that insight into action needs more support. That understanding rewrites your past. You were not always refusing the assignment. Sometimes you were trying to carry a complete vision through a scattered condition. You still had responsibility, but shame was never the solution. Here is a free protocol you can use today. Turn off every notification. Sit in a quiet place for 8 minutes. Breathe slowly. You may use the resource described earlier, or you may simply sit in silence. Then write one sentence. The visible act is: complete that sentence with a verb and an object. Send the message. Post the work. Submit the application. Speak the boundary. Begin the offer. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Work only on the smallest, complete version. Do not open another message for inspiration. Do not search for another confirmation. Let action become the next form of clarity. Imagine a normal morning several months from now. You notice the important task without turning it into a crisis. You choose it. You begin. One email leaves your outbox before fear builds an argument. In your relationships, you speak more clearly. In your work, intuition and analysis begin cooperating again. You notice opportunities earlier, and you respond with greater steadiness. No miracle is promised. The transformation is that you become more available to your own responsible choices. Now be honest with yourself. There is something specific waiting for action. If the genius switch feels like the support you are meant to examine, the official page is in the description and the pinned comment. Read the information carefully, review the guarantee, decide without panic. Product materials report more than 18,000 users, but those reports do not guarantee your result. Whether you use that resource or not, do not leave this message without completing the visible act you have already identified. The product is optional, the evidence is not. Write the first verb of your action. Send, post, speak, apply, begin. Choose only one, and let that word become a commitment rather than another declaration that disappears. The last step is not another explanation. It is a rehearsal for remaining present while you are seen. Your body will practice the moment. Your voice will name the decision. Then, the private promise will become visible evidence. Chosen one. Sit or stand in a steady position. Place both feet on the floor. Do not do this while driving. Let your hands rest. Release your jaw. Allow your shoulders to fall. Take a slow breath in. Let it leave more slowly. You are not forcing a spiritual experience. You are teaching your body that presence can remain while visibility approaches. Imagine a quiet room filled with gentle light. There is no crowd. There is no stage. In front of you stands a simple table. On that table is one object connected to your public act. It may be a phone, it may be an envelope, it may be a microphone, a document, or a submit button. Let the image remain simple. Look at the object in your mind. Notice the first sensation in your body. There may be tension in your chest. Let the feeling exist without obeying it. Place your thumb and first finger together. Feel both feet beneath you. Say this slowly. Being seen is not the same as being unsafe. Being evaluated is not the same as being condemned. An imperfect action is not proof of an imperfect calling. I can remain grounded while something I created becomes visible. See yourself reaching toward the object. Your hand does not need to feel fearless. It only needs to remain present. Watch yourself, press send, speak the sentence, submit the work, or begin the conversation. The action is complete. The room remains steady. Your breath continues. You remain with yourself. Say this now. I remain with myself while I am seen. I remain honest while I am seen. I do not abandon myself at the edge of visibility. Receive these words as a prayer, not as a replacement for your own discernment. My child, I did not form your voice, so fear could become its permanent keeper. Walk carefully, but walk. Serve humbly, but serve. Let what is true within you become faithful action. Do not worship attention or safety. Let love decide what must become visible. The act required from you is not the same act required from everyone. It is not a spectacle. It is one visible piece of evidence that fear no longer controls how you use your gift. Now speak this declaration. I do not need a crowd to become visible. I do not need certainty to act with integrity. I do not need fear to disappear before I move. What was formed in private will now serve beyond me. I choose one honest action. I choose responsible visibility. I choose to let my faith become evidence. Open your eyes when you are ready. Write the exact hour when your action will be complete. Do not open another motivational message before you finish it. If this is your decision, write, I will make it visible. Complete it within the next 24 hours. Chosen one, you were never asked to become a spectacle. You were asked to stop making invisibility the price of your safety. Take the honest step. Let it be seen. Let the life beyond that step finally know where to find you.